Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and today we're bringing you Fairy Tail 516. So it's been a bit confusing with releases. People have delayed it, people have not put it up, some people haven't even scanlated it. So when I was looking at the main websites I normally look at, I couldn't find the release for Fairy Tail yesterday, but Mr. For Neverworld did a release. As you know, he likes to be number one at everything, and the first one, which is fine. But because he did a review and he didn't get it off the raw, I assumed it was out, and I did find a link for it. So today we're bringing you Fairy Tail Chapter 516, The Truth About Enchantment, or The Truth of Enchantment. It's an alright chapter. It's one of those, I guess. There's something in there, and I'll talk about that. But before we get into it, I was meant to do a video on Demon Plant. I recorded it. I even rendered it, but then I watched it back and I wasn't happy with the quality. So what I will be doing moving forward is, if I am doing a video and I'm not happy with the quality, it will not be uploaded. I will try again at a later date to get it better. So the plan is today, Fairy Tail in this video. Some point we're going to do Demon Plant. At some point we're going to do Platinum End, and at some point we're going to do The Promised Neverland, which chapter 20 came out today. So I will be doing a lot of this over the next, hopefully today, tomorrow, and something like that. Also, we'll be talking about Blue Exorcist, which is amazing. I rewatched the whole first season. The second season's coming out very soon. I will be doing reviews. Look out for that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this review. So, this chapter, it was okay. It was interesting, and there's been a lot of discontent, and a lot of people that are not happy with what's been going on, and for good reason. And to some degree, I share their kind of concern and their unhappiness or uneasiness with the situation. A perfect example of that is considering Rohid, or I don't know what his other translation is, the White Dragneel losing in such a fashion. And now Eileen, who's meant to be one of the strongest compared to like August, isn't really getting as many hits, and people are concerned. But what you've got to understand from this, it is part of a storytelling point of view. So it's a dynamic to change the path of the battle. So we find out at the end of this what actually happens. To explain what I mean by this, Erza and Wendy now team up, and they start fighting against Eileen. Eileen actually gets hit twice, and the main reason for that is because the way both of them fight is different. So with Erza using enchantments and swords and requips, and then Wendy using Dragon Slayer magic, ultimately they're two types of different attacks that can catch you off guard. Being that Eileen is meant to be a combination of both, it's surprising to her when she fights with that, because it's like fighting against yourself. And as you know, with many manga, many stories, the most difficult fight is a fight between yourself, with yourself. So that's kind of what they're kind of hinting at with that, and that's what I think it is. There's conversations about the seed suppression. As we know, the dragons were in the Dragon Slayer's bodies, and Eileen's dragon died a long time ago, Belserion, which is why she took the name, and she wanted revenge. Sticking on the Eileen theme here, Eileen goes berserk because she's jealous that Wendy keeps her body, and that's what it really comes down to. She's basically doing all this for her body. Wendy does an enchantment to help counter Eileen. Eileen counters that with the reduction enchantment, and then Wendy counters that with a counter reduction of her enchantment. So it kind of like +2, -2, minus the -2, it becomes back to normal. So it was one of those where, because it was quite tactical, and the enchantment itself, the battle of the enchantments, was actually pretty good, it caught her attention. Eileen said she was like, oh, such an interesting way to deal with enchantment. So she was surprised by that. And then we find out the truth of the enchantment, that basically Eileen couldn't go into Erza because they were related. And there's compatibility issues because her magic is probably different, but she found someone that's a dragon slayer and an enchanter or enchantress, and lo and behold, it's Wendy. So she says that, look, I'm weaker in Wendy's body, but this will do. And she has that disgusting rape face on that Mishima likes to draw. It's weird. Anyway, So what this does, it changes the battle in a different way. So many things can happen with this. So what you could find happens is Erza's going to find difficulty in attacking Wendy because it's the body of a friend, and the cliches and everything that else happens in a lot of other anime and manga. Let's not pin this on Fairy Tail. This happens a lot, so let's not go there. But that's probably how it's going to start, because Wendy is weaker than Eileen, because Eileen's technically a physical representation of a body rather than a body, and really she's a dragon. Her body is actually a lot stronger, and that's why she is as crazily strong as she is. So basically her being put in this situation puts a limit on how much attack and damage she can do. What we're also going to learn from this is the magic capabilities of Wendy after Eileen goes, because sometimes what they say about magic in general, or sometimes it's just in general with limitations, is you're only as strong as your mental capacity. And I think Eileen, being a quite knowledgeable individual and more experienced at battle, will show using Wendy's body that she's capable of a lot more. So that's probably going to be something to look forward to in the future. And basically Wendy's going to learn from the situation. Eventually she's going to lose because she is in a weaker body. And hey, Eileen found another body. She doesn't need to meet Orochimaru. And before everyone gets crazy and says like Dragon Ball, you copy Dragon Ball, like Forever World did. I mean, let's be realistic, he's a Dragon Ball fanboy, which is fine, but Dragon Ball isn't the only people that have been doing body snatching. Come on, I know we did it in Dragon Ball Super, we did it in Dragon Ball, but we've done it with Orochimaru, and we've been doing body snatching in anime and manga and media for a long time. So, it's not a rip-off of anything. It is what it is. It's used, it's an ability, it's out there, it's magic. There's gonna be somebody who can do it. Anyway, that's basically the Wendy situation. That's how the chapter ends. But we have an interesting dynamic and a different thought about the Natsu situation. So Natsu's finding out similar kind of things by speaking to Igneel. It's always good to see Igneel. I was happy about that. That's my fanboying going on. I was happy to see the King of the Fire Dragons, Igneel. Made my day. It what made the chapter for me. Anyway, so we find out about the dragon seed from him. We find out about a similar kind of thing called the demon seed, and the dragon seed and the demon seed are fusing. Makes sense considering they're both in the body. It makes sense because it's been enlarged and it's active now. What does this mean for Natsu? They say that he's dying, but he was dead to begin with, so that isn't really something that is a big consequence, because he was dead 400 years ago. I think that's going to be difficult for a lot of people that like Natsu in that sense, because they don't understand what possibly could happen with the dying. I think the dying is kind of a rebirth, so to speak, of the true form of END. And I think what might happen with this is something I alluded to before. Essentially, by Natsu dying, the true form of END will come out, fusing with the dragon seed, so he'll still have Dragon Slayer ability on top of his END magic. But then with Mavis coming alive now, I think she will eventually give her life, the one magic, to bring him back to life by giving her life up, and possibly at the same time bringing back Makarov. I think that's probably where that's gearing towards, and then we'll probably move forward and deal with everybody else. That's what I think is going to be the end result with Natsu. So the dying element isn't necessarily an end. It's kind of like a new beginning and a consequence of the cells, but then it adds another dynamic of this is what we need to resolve in a follow-up arc, so to speak. So I think that's going to be an important dynamic to bear in mind. Ultimately, there's still a lot we need to do. I think the Wendy situation is going to get wrapped up in a few chapters, as it doesn't normally, something like this doesn't stick, but it will have repercussions, as Wendy will probably have, it'll take a toll on Wendy's body, and Wendy will have an idea of what she can do with the body, because Eileen's probably going to abuse it like she stole it, yeah, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, that is pretty much my thoughts, my review on this actual chapter. Not really a 5-point review, but a review nonetheless. Hope you enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next one. Peace.